What would you do if you realized your life was a lie? Meet Naomi Witt. She's the ultimate good girl. She's polite, she's perfect, and she's currently wearing a wedding dress while driving 90 miles an hour away from her own wedding. But her great escape is about to hit a massive brick wall. She arrives in the rough and tumble town of Knockemout, Virginia, to help her evil twin sister, only to have that sister steal her car, her cash, and leave her with a surprise she never saw coming, a niece she didn't know existed. Now, Naomi is stranded, broke, and stuck in a town that hates her face. Her only hope? Knox Morgan. He's a giant, tattooed Viking of a man who hates drama even more than he hates Naomi's sunshine personality. He wants her gone. She's determined to stay. Today, we are breaking down the spicy, emotional, and absolutely chaotic world of Lucy Score's bestseller, Things We Never Got Over. Trust me, by the end of this story, you'll understand why the grumpy local hero never stood a chance. The story begins with Naomi Witt in a full-blown crisis, speeding toward the small town of Knockemout. She's a serial people-pleaser who just ditched her own wedding to rescue her evil twin, Tina. Upon arrival, the town's alpha grump, Knox Morgan, mistakes her for Tina and treats her with immediate hostility. The chaos peaks when Tina steals Naomi's car and cash, leaving Naomi stranded with a niece she didn't know existed, an 11-year-old girl named Waylay. Naomi is forced to pivot from runaway bride to emergency guardian, while Knox, despite his lone wolf attitude, finds himself bailing her out by offering her a job at the local bar and a place to live. As Naomi settles into her new life, she realizes that the cottage Knox provided is a fixer-upper, symbolizing her own life. She begins the grueling process of winning over Waylay, who is understandably defensive and cynical after years of neglect from Tina. The tension between Naomi and Knox reaches a boiling point during several forced proximity moments, including a hilarious and heated encounter where Knox has to help her deal with a wardrobe malfunction. While Naomi tries to maintain her good girl image, the rowdy atmosphere of the honky-tonk bar starts to rub off on her, and she begins to find a sense of belonging she never had back home. The middle chapters focus heavily on the slow-burn romance and the found family dynamic. Knox's brother, Nash, a kind-hearted police officer, acts as a foil to Knox's grumpiness, helping Naomi navigate the town's eccentric personalities. Knox keeps trying to push Naomi away, insisting he doesn't do forever, but his actions speak louder than his words. He spends his nights fixing things around her house and defending her against the town's gossip. A turning point occurs when they finally give in to their attraction, but the aftermath is complicated by Knox's deep-seated fear of emotional vulnerability, stemming from his parents' traumatic divorce. As the school year starts, Naomi's bond with Waylay solidifies, but the shadow of Tina looms large. The local criminal element, led by a man named Stefano, begins sniffing around Knockemout looking for the money Tina stole. Naomi finds herself being followed and harassed, leading Knox to become even more overprotective. The romance hits a snag when Knox has an emotional meltdown, trying to break things off with Naomi to protect her from his own dark moods. This leads to a heartbreaking sequence where Naomi has to decide if she's willing to fight for a man who is determined to be alone. The final act of the book shifts gears into a high-stakes thriller. Stefano's crew finally makes their move, kidnapping both Naomi and Waylay in a case of mistaken identity. They still think Naomi is Tina. This triggers a massive response from the town of Knockemout. Knox, Nash, and their group of friends launch a rescue mission that feels like a tactical operation. During the confrontation, Knox proves he is willing to die to keep his new family safe. The rescue is successful, but it leaves Knox physically and emotionally battered, forcing him to finally confront the fact that he cannot live without Naomi. The concluding chapters and the epilogue bring everything full circle. Knox makes a massive, public grand gesture to prove his commitment to Naomi and Waylay. He stops being the man who runs from feelings and becomes the man who builds a home. Naomi finally stands up to her overbearing parents, choosing her new life in Virginia over her old, suffocating life in the city. The story ends with the three of them, Knox, Naomi, and Waylay, forming a permanent, happy, and slightly chaotic family unit, setting the stage for the sequels involving the other residents of Knockemout. And that's the full story of why Knox and Naomi are basically the kings of the grumpy sunshine trope. If this summary made you fall in love with Knockemout, you can grab the book through the link in the description below to read every spicy detail for yourself. Before you go, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. I'm breaking down a new romance bestseller every week and you won't want to miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.